Greetings, Cap fans, and welcome to a very, very monumental episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. Why is it monumental? Because this is episode 300, if you can believe it. And you've been stuck with me for 300 episodes as the host. I'm Rick Frabon, as you know me, and you know my co host, the best gosh darn one out there, and has been for the last 5.5 years. That's Mr. Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob, ready your breakfast and eat hearty. For tonight, we dine in hell.
I thought you were going to say party.
No, no,
Eat your breakfast and dine hearty. For tonight, we party.
no,
No,
no.
I don't know. We dine in hell. I don't know. Who is that? What is that?
Oh, okay. It's a famous quote
All right.
from a movie. Maybe this one
Okay.
will help jog our memory.
All right. I'm starting to feel my pit sweat.
Yeah. This is Sparta.
Oh, is it from the 300?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
300. Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
You know who directed that?
That was Zack Snyder, wasn't it?
It was. It was
Yeah.
Zack Snyder 20 years ago, Bob.
That's crazy.
I know.
That is
2 decades.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's a lot. Dang.
I know.
That is a lot of time.
Why am I greeting you
Wow.
with a quote from a Zack Snyder movie, Bob, from 20 years ago?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Seriously?
I don't
Right?
know. Zack Snyder. Is it because you're a director? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
20
God.
years ago.
Listeners, they're all screaming. They're all
Yeah.
screaming at their car radio or
Yeah.
out into the wilderness, the podcast, in the gym. They're all yelling at you right now, Bob.
Oh, the 300.
Yeah.
Usually you're a lot more subtle than that, though. So you're very on the nose, you know?
Oh, God.
Yeah, usually very, very, oh my gosh. Didn't you have to run any string or anything? on that
No,
one,
no,
so,
Bob.
yeah. Wow.
I went with pretty in your face. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, good.
Well,
That's a good one. Good movie, though. Great.
it was. Bob, can you believe we've been at this for 300 episodes?
I can't. I'm pinching myself right now, Rick.
Hmm.
I'm pinching myself. How could we still be at this after
I
300
don't know.
episodes?
I don't know.
Is it
But
karma?
It's
I don't
fun.
know.
I think it's just this. I think you and I get together, we have fun, we laugh, and there's a few people out there that like to listen along with.
Yeah, yeah, and they play along too. They're fun folks. So.
I know.
It's a family.
We've made some good friends over the years. We have
Yeah.
a good community.
Right. Yeah, it is.
We
It's
do.
a tribe.
Mm-hmm. Anything going on with you, Bob? How are you celebrating the 300th episode? Are you doing anything fun?
Well, I think we were just talking offline about our favorite liquor stores. So maybe I'll just go walk the aisles of my favorite liquor store. I love to. I can't afford to buy too much, but I do like to browse.
Uh,
So.
how long does it take you? I mean, like, how many aisles
Oh
does
my
this
gosh,
place?
I could. It's cavernous. It's
Uh-huh.
cavernous. So I mean, like I could spend 20 minutes just on sake, for crying out loud. Not that
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be drinking any sake or any of those. What's the Korean version? Starts with
Oh
an
yeah, you're
H.
asking the right guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. My mind's blanking. But anyway, you just spend a whole 20 minutes, half hour in the bourbon aisle, right?
Mhm.
Or the beer aisle. For goodness sakes.
You just like the look.
I do. I like to look. Every now and again I might pick up a little something, but it gets me in trouble because I don't drink that much. So the last time I did that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, and now I have like all this beer. I'm
Mhm.
like, when am I going to drink all this beer? So,
Mm.
but I do like to browse. So maybe that's going to be my guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Um,
So how about yourself?
Celebrating 300. Well, what do we do? Oh, I had a nice weekend. I had a
Yeah.
nice weekend.
What'd you do?
Spent a little time in the pool.
Oh,
Went
nice.
out. I got recently. I got a new role at work, and
Yeah.
so celebrating that. Went out with
Nice.
my in-laws, and then we had some friends over at the pool. And then I went to a barbecue, and then we went to a comedy club. It was a packed weekend.
Yeah, that is a packed weekend. I
Yeah.
had to drive over. I live on the west. I had to think for a second. The west coast of Florida. I had to drive over to the east coast to pick up some furniture this weekend. So
That's a long drive.
that did take up. Well, it's like 3 hours each way, and but I was like a nervous wreck coming back because I had wrapped all of the chairs in plastic drop
Hmm.
cloths and bungeed them, and then cinched everything down in the bed of the truck. But when you're going like 80 miles an hour, that plastic's like going, well, then it starts to shred. I'm like, oh no, and then it's like you're driving down the road and you're like a big party thing, with plastic waving and it's
uh,
just like nerve wracking,
Are you
So
one of these guys who's got the window down? He's got his arm out holding that little piece on top of the.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah.
both looking in the rearview mirror. Did it move? Did it move?
Uh,
Did it move? So I can just see like chairs flying out the back of the truck. Oh, it's just stressful. But I came back and just went for a walk in the liquor store, so everything was fine.
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, people might ask like, Rick, why go to the liquor store if you're not going to buy anything? You're just going to browse, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a browser. So,
Hmm.
for example, I was in Switzerland recently. My wife and I went on a trip for her 50th birthday, and we rounded up the trip in Zurich. And it was super hot in Europe, has
Hmm.
been. And so, we went out for a little walk in the park down by the water. And like we go into the park, and it's like a sea of young people in bikinis and like board shorts or whatever. Not that I wasn't looking at the board shorts. I was more oriented toward the bikinis. And
Sure.
so I'm
Right. Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta take some pictures for my son, So I like take,
That's not creepy at all.
yeah, not at all, right? So I'm like taking pictures and I'm like texting them. I'm like, hey, check it out. This is like Zurich,
Uh-huh.
on a Saturday afternoon. I'm like, look at you'd love it here. Look at all these girls in bikinis.
Uh-huh.
And he writes back, hey, Dad, you're married. And I write back like, yes, I am, but I'm not dead.
That's
Right.
right.
So
That's
yeah.
right.
So you could still browse the
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
yeah. Me and my wife, we have a saying. Um, you can look at the menu.
Yeah.
You just got to eat at home, and
That's a
no
good one.
takeout.
There's no DoorDash here.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like
Uh,
that one.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna
feel free to use that. No charge.
well, I'm gonna let's see. I found out earlier this week that my wife had listened to an episode of ours last
Oh,
week.
really? Which
Yeah.
episode?
Well, it was one. I don't know how she plucked it out, but it was the
Hmm.
one where I was talking about us lying in bed reading at night and how she'll like spend 15 minutes telling me about like every aspect of her book.
That was last episode, 299.
Was it? Yeah. And so
Mhm.
she talked and talked and talked about that. And then when she was done, I'd be like, oh, you want to hear about my book? And she'd be like, no.
All right.
So
So it's funny. We ask people if they have any emails, send them into the show.
yeah.
And the email address is capcomicfans@gmail.com. And we actually did get an email on episode 299 regarding this subject.
Oh, was it my wife?
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It's from Casey Lucers. She writes, thanks, Rick, for the entertaining podcast. I don't often listen, but episode 299 caught my attention because my amazing husband, Bob, talked about Valley Forge, and he happened to mention that I don't always engage him on the books he's reading in bed at night. Please reassure your listeners that I truly love and support Bob. But please, for the love of all that is holy, give this guy some light reading. I've had to hear about the bubonic plague in 1900 and the government's three-pronged approach to exterminating rats. I've learned about the Spanish flu that started in Kansas. And did you know that Kansas was the first state to enact prohibition 1881? You get the picture. Thanks for all you do, and especially thanks to the podcast listeners for their support of Bob. From a grateful wife, Casey Lucius.
Very, very, very nice. She did note in the episode that after I'd been talking about Valley Forge for about 5 minutes, you increasingly got a little more guttural.
I did?
Like,
Was that my subconscious going, move it along, Bob?
Yeah, it was
move
like
it along.
It was the verbal hook that comes out, from off stage, So yeah.
That's fun. I don't think I did that on purpose, and when I was editing it, I didn't catch that. So
yeah,
there you go.
There it is.
So if any other wives want to send in an email.
Yes, please do. Yes.
Yeah, capcomicfans@gmail.com. Or if you just want to reach Bob directly, hit him up on Messenger. Just bypass me altogether.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah. Bob, I am so excited because we have today our third annual community theater. We started this way back in episode 200, and we had a bunch of listeners that came on, and we did a story there, and then we said, it was so much fun, we got to do it again. So we did it at episode 250, and now we're doing this at episode 300, and we're doing these monumental episode numbers because it is a special type of thing that we do. And very excited to do this one today. Now, we recorded this while you were in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we couldn't work out the dates because there were so many people involved, and there was the July 4th holiday, and it didn't work out for you to be on the recording. But you did help out very much so. So, as we know, Bob does the special effects when we do just him and me.
Boom.
Yeah. And he actually did all the research to pull up some legit sound effects that I ended up editing into this episode. So thank you to Bob for that.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a disappointment for those who are used to my standard fare, but yeah.
I particularly like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So Bob, without further ado, let's introduce the Captain America Comic Book Fans Community Theater of Civil War. What if?
This summer, Prime Video takes you back before Legally Blonde, before law school, and into the world of Elle Woods in high school. Set in 1995, this Gemini vegetarian knows exactly who she is until her family moves from Bel Air to Seattle. Packed with iconic fashion, 90s nostalgia, and a throwback soundtrack, Elle proves one thing. Law school was hard. High school was harder. From the world of Legally Blonde, watch Elle, a new original series only on Prime Video. Watch now.
This summer, Say I Do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
There exists parallel worlds beyond our own.
Within these worlds, each living being faces turning points in their existence, and a choice must be made at every one of these points. Choices that will affect their own destinies, and perhaps that of their world or even the universe itself. Call it the road not taken, the chance missed, the decision deferred, of what might have been, what could have happened, but for the invisible working of an incomprehensible fate. Call it What If. The Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast Community Theater presents What If? Civil War. Stamford, Connecticut is destroyed during a televised fight between the New Warriors and a group of villains. Public sentiment turns against superheroes and advocates call out for reform. The proposed Superhuman Registration Act is soon passed, which requires all individuals possessing paranormal abilities to register with the government. Some heroes, such as Iron Man, see this as a natural evolution of the role of superhumans in society. Captain America was asked to spearhead the new initiative and help bring in heroes who refused to comply. Rather than hunt down his friends and allies, Cap went underground and formed a resistance movement to fight back against the law. When Cap realized the scope of the damage that the warring heroes were causing, he surrendered to Iron Man's pro-registration forces and ended the superhuman civil war. Cap was determined to fight the law from within the system until an assassin's bullet changed all that. Now Cap is dead, and Iron Man is left grieving for his fallen friend. Rain falls at the gravesite of Captain America. Tony Stark, Iron Man, stands at the memorial, his tears mixing with the raindrops. A dark figure carrying an umbrella approaches from behind.
They buried Captain America today. That's what most of them think, at least.
But you know differently, don't you, Tony Stark, Iron Man? All they buried was the symbol. All that rests here, but a memory. A ghost to haunt your failures.
This wasn't my failure.
I'm sure some part of you knows that to be the case, but you're too much of a scientist to let yourself believe in absolute truth. Why else would you still be here? Unless you're hoping to find the words that you couldn't earlier.
That's ridiculous. Even I can't be expected to see all eventualities.
I believe the only person who expects that of you is yourself.
No, that's not... It just didn't have to be this way. We didn't have to be on opposite sides. I should have been able to make him see.
It's unlike you to question a decision once you've made it, Tony Stark, Iron Man.
I know it is, but I've never had a decision end like this.
You say you cannot see all eventualities, much as you try. But what if you could? What if you knew another reality, where events unfolded differently?
We move now to a different reality, where Tony Stark lies dead.
In one reality, extremis injection killed you.
We see the Avengers gathered for the funeral.
Your friends mourned your passing.
And unite against the perpetrator.
And honored your memory with their heroic deeds.
It's over, Malin.
We move through time and space to the Fantastic Four taking on the Hulk.
Just as in this world, the Hulk's rampage in Las Vegas provided the impetus for what became the Superhuman Registration Act.
And now to the U.S. Capitol.
Instead of you, it was Captain America who appears before the committee to plead the case for superhuman rights.
Inside the Capitol, Steve Rogers sits, listening to a subcommittee meeting. Captain, we are aware of the great good that you and others like you have done, not only for the country, but for the world.
But what you're proposing is a policy born out of fear, an irrational fear that will expose law-abiding citizens to a system that will compromise not only their anonymity, but the safety of their families as well.
There will be safeguards in place.
Impossible to keep track of without mistakes that could cost people their lives. Besides, Creating a system that will be under the thumb of just one or a few individuals is a very dangerous temptation for anyone to undertake. Corruption would be inevitable.
We're not talking about galleys and concentration camps here. This is about controlling what amounts to the personal weapons of mass destruction to safeguard the American people. Don't tell me you don't see the difference.
Just look at our track record. Has anything like this ever happened before?
The fact is, Captain, that it need only happen once, and that's once too many.
No disrespect, but where was government protection when Namor invaded New York with the hordes of Atlantis? Or when Galactus came to destroy the planet? Where were you during the Kree Skrull War, or the Onslaught incident and the Kang invasion? We stand in the gap between humanity and those who would destroy it when no other human resource is able to do the job.
But the people are afraid of you.
Are they? Or is it you who are afraid?
Outside, Steve stands at the Lincoln Memorial, looking up at the seated statue.
Captain America was able to convince the committee to drop the SHRA, but he knew it wouldn't last.
A country torn apart. How did you do it?
A firestorm silhouettes children playing.
And then the Stanford tragedy happened.
We look down on a hangar full of bodies under sheets, the grim impact of the Stanford incident. We return now to the same committee room, convening in the aftermath.
And this time, your government would not back down from their position.
You have to realize that because of the tragedy at Stanford, where more than 600 citizens were killed, it is imperative that there is some kind of regulation when it comes to superhuman activity.
You want to talk facts, Senator? The truth is, the villain Nitro destroyed Stanford, not the New Warriors. What you're doing amounts to a witch hunt.
But what if the Stanford tragedy happens again? What are you going to do then, Captain? Say that you're sorry? That you'll try to do it better next time? We would be irresponsible if we took that chance. Therefore, by the power invested in me, by the Constitution of the United States of America, under the authority of the President, I hereby pass legislation to turn the Superhuman Registration Act into law. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chairman's gavel slams down.
The motion passes.
Captain America, the Superhuman Registration Act will become law in 72 hours. At that time, you and your fellow superheroes will turn yourselves in for registration and processing, or face the full weight of the U.S. government. Captain, believe me when I say we are truly sorry it had come to this.
I'm sorry too, Senator. Sorry that this is no longer the America that I knew.
Steve Rogers stands and turns to walk out of the courtroom.
You should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Will you submit to the will of the government? Do you hear me, Captain? Answer me! Outside the Capitol, reporters shout questions at Steve Rogers, leaving, looking grim.
Cap, what does this mean? Captain, will you and the other heroes register?
But things take a decidedly worse turn. With the absence of Nick Fury and no one to lead the heroes towards registration, duty or death, Marie Hill is reassigned as presidential liaison, while Henry Gyrick is appointed head of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Secretary Cooning. Gyrick introduces very draconian protocols to bring the heroes to what he feels is justice.
Meanwhile, Cap gathers all the heroes he can together in a warehouse.
The country was tense as the looming deadline inched ever closer. But not all the heroes supported resistance in a united front.
Gathered with Captain America are fellow costumed heroes, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Yellow Jacket, Black Panther, and Wonder Man. Yellow Jacket shares his concerns first. I'm sorry, but fighting our own government? Becoming criminals?
I don't relish the idea either, Hank, but what choice do we have? Think of the danger of what they're proposing.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, weighs in.
then we should fight for compromise, not opt for war.
Have you really thought this through, Captain? I have seen how far your government is willing to go to achieve its ends. What are you prepared to do if the situation becomes untenable?
T'Challa's right. The government doesn't have the power to defeat us. And if we completely decimate their forces, that would destroy people's faith in our system.
Not to mention the fact that they'd never trust us as heroes again. If you want my opinion, this isn't the way.
Finally, Susan Richards, wife of Reed and valuable member of the Fantastic Four, offers her thoughts.
Reed, you've spoken against this before, but this is about everything we've fought for ever since we became the Fantastic Four. We all know Franklin's power. Val's, what do you think they'll do to them if they become thralls of the government? Is this the environment you want for our children?
But on the other side, as with so many unpredictable things, the winds of war blow in their own direction.
Far away, ranks of large sentinels watch over as Henry Gyrick sets his plans into motion, walking with S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Dum Dum Dugan.
I gotta tell you, sir, a war with the heroes is a very bad logistics move. These people aren't criminals. They've saved the country and the entire world countless times, and this is how we repay them?
I don't like it any more than you do, Dugan, but it's my duty. It's our duty. Once they choose to turn a blind eye towards the law, they lost their status as true heroes. But I need to know, are you with me?
Before he can answer, we move back to the meeting of heroes in a tall building in downtown Manhattan.
Despite the misgivings of both Reed Richards and Hank Pym, Captain America takes his position to his peers.
I'm asking you to stand with me in defiance of this heinous and unconstitutional law.
Cap makes his address to a room full of heroes. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Cloak and Dagger, Doctor Strange and more stand ready to hear him.
There is no shame in sitting this out. I take no pleasure in fighting my own government either. But I take less pleasure in watching a gross miscarriage of justice take place while good men and women stand by and do nothing.
Spider-Man is the first to answer.
If you think this is the right thing to do, Cap, that this will change things, then I'm with you.
Luke Cage, Power Man, adds his vote.
I'm down.
However, not all heroes agree, as Cyclops of the X-Men turns down Cap's offer.
I'm sorry, Cap, but with most of the mutant population decimated, the X-Men won't be able to...
Wolverine interrupts Cyclops.
You always were a milksop, Summers, but there's one X-Man who can think for himself.
Cable sides with Wolverine.
I'm with the shrimp.
Then it's settled. We fight.
And thus the stage was set. American against American. Heroes against politics. Men against supermen. To the victor goes the spoils. The clock struck 12. The deadline passed.
So, Captain, what is our first plan of attack on these miscreants?
No attacks, Hercules. We'll protect ourselves, but we'll never draw first blood. We still...
Cutting Cap off suddenly, the roof caves in as the heroes come under attack from...
Sentinels!
How'd these creeps?
The Thing's sentence is cut short as he is blasted by a sentinel.
Ah!
Avengers, assemble! Everyone, stay in formation.
Don't worry, Cap. I've been doing this since I was...
Spider-Man leaps to shove Patriot out of the way of an incoming sentinel.
Patriot, look out!
Putting himself into the firing line, the Sentiment's beam shears into Spider-Man's chest. The Invisible Woman quickly throws a shield around a vulnerable group as two sentinels close in on the attack.
Everyone get out of here! I'll hold them off as long as I...
While she is distracted, a sentinel unleashes a mighty blast.
No!
Reed holds Sue's limp body as the battle is joined behind them.
Sue!
Her brother, the Human Torch, unleashes an incinerating blast.
That was my sister!
Daredevil stands over a downed sentinel as it starts making an ominous sound.
I think we've got a problem over here.
It's a time bomb.
Auto destruct in 4, 3, 2, 1.
And so the first blow was struck, heralding the grisly count of casualties to come.
Fools. I told them Project Wide Awake was a possibility.
Yes, you did.
In the aftermath, we move to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s facility as Henry Gyrick walks with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
But the powers that were not pleased with the victorious outcome the first battle would bring.
I told you they were to be captured, not killed.
There was nothing we could have done, sir. The Sentinel's programming allows for very broad parameters, and sometimes...
I don't want to hear it. Do you know how this makes us look?
Gyrick looks down at the body of the fallen Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So this is what it's come to.
As the agent lifts Spider-Man's mask, Henry Gyrick looks down at the face of the young Peter Parker.
Who is he? Just some guy. Nobody important.
Outside the facility, Henry Gyrick addresses a gathering of people and the press.
With Dugan's resignation and much blood on his hands, Gyrick had to make changes to maintain public support.
No one is more grieved than I am about the deaths of Spider-Man, the Invisible Woman, Daredevil, Stature, and others. It's obvious that the emotionless Sentinel robots cannot be trusted to arrest our former heroes in a humane fashion. That's why I'm scrapping the program in favor of creating a new task force called Sentinel-1 Strike Force.
Gyrick gestures at a group of massive Sentinel warsuits flying behind him. He's soon joined on stage by their leader.
Leading our new strike force will be none other than Officer Jim Rhodes, formerly both Iron Man and War Machine himself.
Later, after the press briefing, Gyrick and Rhodes speak on the next steps.
Congratulations, Jim. This is better on so many different levels.
Thank you, Director Gyrick.
I still believe that Cap and his fugitives are good guys to the core, and when confronted with these human-piloted sentinels, they are going to be even less inclined to fight for fear of injuring them.
I'm only doing this because Tony would have found a humane way of dealing with the heroes.
One thing, Jim. As much as you might hate it, we have to refrain from calling them heroes anymore. They're outlaws. Do you understand?
No. They are heroes, Gyrick. They might be on the wrong side of the war, but they're doing it for the right reasons.
I can appreciate that, Jim, but the President doesn't see it that way, and neither should you. Now, Cap is going to want to keep collateral damage to a minimum. I'd say they'll fight at 25 to 35% efficiency at best, and that's our advantage.
Meanwhile, the heroes regroup in a different warehouse, where Cap is joined by She-Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Luke Cage, and Hercules. We hear She-Hulk and Luke Cage chatting.
I just hope Gyrick doesn't find this new safe house. We can't afford to lose any more heroes.
Only Nick Fury knows where these things are, so we should be okay.
Reed, Susan was...
I'm fine, Namor. Death is the price of freedom.
Reed and Namor look at Captain America.
Right?
Later, Ms. Marvel finds Cap alone.
Cap, are you?
Just thinking. I'm a soldier, not a politician. I can tell someone how to train, how to fight, but I can't tell them when to pull the trigger. I keep thinking. Tony and I might not have always seen eye to eye, but I know he would have been right here with us, fighting the good fight by our side because he was an honorable man.
This wasn't an easy decision. Even he would have had a hard time figuring this one out. We're looking to you for strength.
Cap looks down at a set of armor.
We need more.
Clad in the Iron Patriot armor, the mask speeds towards his face. Cap looks resolute.
Tony once saved my life when my body failed. He gave me a gift that allowed me to carry on one of the greatest battles of my life. Sometime before he died, he gave me another gift, should the need ever arise again. Our forces need an inspiration that only he can provide, and I'm going to give it to them.
Our heroes, Wasp, Wolverine, Ms. Marvel, Cable, and more, bring the fight to the Sentinel Strike Force.
Inspired by your gift, your spirit of stability, the heroes rally, and an ironclad Captain America successfully leads them in many campaigns.
Hercules and Wonder Man smash through the robotic armor of a Sentinel.
The heroes fought, using great restraint.
Bringing the fight to Cap, a Sentinel strikes the helmet from his head.
You call yourself a hero? You're nothing but a traitor!
Knowing full well their assailants would not be as forgiving.
The shield flies, knocking Sentinels aside.
Traitor? Do you have any idea what you're even saying? Do you? I was fighting for true justice and freedom long before.
Opening up the warsuit in a rage, Cap stops himself.
But alas, the reality of their actions set in.
No. He's just a kid, doing what he thinks is right for his country. Stand down! Everyone, stand down!
What's wrong, Cap?
It's over, Ben. We can't do this.
Later, the heroes gather back at their secret hideout.
When we first started this civil war, I thought it was a war about ideals and philosophies. But it's much more than that. It's about order and who rules. Us or the people of this country.
Wonder Man says what everyone else is thinking.
But they're wrong, Cap.
Yes, they are. But what happens if we win? Do we become a government ourselves? A government run by superhumans? A red, white, and blue SS or master race?
We'd never let that happen.
You don't understand, Jan. If we continue down this road, we may have no choice. We can't fight this way. It's too unfair, and the outcome too risky.
Then what are we gonna do?
They've made it pretty clear that they don't want us to operate like we used to. They're afraid. And I will not have any of us become objects of fear.
So, we're going underground? All of us?
That's right, Carol. We'll spread out. Keep our secret identities. Do what we can to protect and serve from the shadows. Never operating in plain sight unless lives are in danger, in which case we take our chances.
Hiding like criminals? No way! They killed my sister. They have to pay for that.
Come on, kid. Think about what Susie would want if she were still here. The X-Men did it for years, bub. It can be done.
With the heroes forced underground, the world's supervillains would soon take advantage of this new status quo. Only they had no compunction about killing.
Costume villains take the fight against the government sentinels, overwhelming the armored soldiers.
No restraint.
We can't fight them! They're too powerful!
But the heroes showed why righteousness was on their side.
Luke Cage, Namor, Ms. Marvel, and Wonder Man appear in a flash of light, leaping into battle to protect the Sentinels they once fought.
Showed their true color, the colors they have always maintained, the colors they have always lived by, the color of courage, and showed why no force on earth could stand against them.
Soon, a group of wounded Sentinel operators returned to base.
Medic!
Careful!
Rhodes, what happened?
Just what I told you would happen. We're getting our cans kicked all over the country. We just don't have the power to fight these supervillains. It's a war zone out there. If it wasn't for the heroes, we'd have been toast. Call it off, Gyrick. Make peace with Cap. Call the president and tell him to rescind the SHRA before our cities burn like Beirut.
But Gyrick had plans to turn the tide. a warped plan set in motion by the Thor DNA you had in your possession.
Wait a minute. I only did that to discern whether or not Thor was what he claimed to be, a mythological god.
Henry Gyrick and Jim Rhodes goes to a room filled with human-sized test tubes, each one filled with a partially grown clone of the Asgardian deity.
Project Thunderstrike. Clones of the thunder god Thor.
I don't believe it.
They may be only 20 or 30% as powerful as the original, but any one of them is strong enough to handle a dozen superhumans.
He was now in complete control of an army of immortal drones.
A host of Thor clones on hoverboards fly through the streets of the city, civilians cowering in fear and surprise as the army passes by.
The most powerful army to ever walk the earth, if not the galaxy. The villains fell quickly. If not killed or incarcerated, they were either driven underground or out of the country. And as powerful the heroes were, not even they stood a chance against a platoon of Thor clones. It was their most devastating defeat ever.
The heroes clash against the Thor army. She-Hulk, Wonder Man, and others are taken out easily. The Wasp flies to Captain America during the battle.
Cap, even collectively, we can't handle this power. The real Thor is never so ruthless.
Thor once told me that no matter how powerful a mortal may be, he'll barely use a third of his strength, even at the risk of losing a battle, for fear of killing him. These monstrosities may only have a small fraction of his power, but they don't have Thor's restraint.
With the thunder strikes on his side, complete victory for your government was within reach. Or was it?
Back at the helicarrier, Jim Rhodes confronts Henry Gyrick.
This has gone far enough, Gyrick. We need to pull back.
Why? We're winning.
But at what cost? The battle with the Thunderstrikes? It could have leveled half the state of New York. You yourself said we need to bring them to justice, not kill them.
Like I said before, Jim, sometimes we've got to make hard decisions.
Finally, cooler heads prevail.
In a secret rendezvous, Jim Rhodes meets up with Maria Hill to ask a favor.
I need you to keep this quiet, Maria. But if you can get the president's permission, we can arrange a ceasefire with Cap and end this peacefully once and for all.
Gyrick has made some powerful friends on the Hill, Jim. They hail what he's done. I'm not promising anything, but I'll see what I can do.
And arrangements are made.
Jim meets with Captain America in a dilapidated warehouse. The two soldiers shake hands.
Cap, no one meant for things to go this far. I mean, I used to be an Avenger myself, and it sickens me that I didn't at least stand up for you before.
Say no more, Rhodey. Once an Avenger, always an Avenger. If you haven't gotten word to me, I would have gotten word to you. Now, let's see if we can't...
The side of the warehouse explodes, sending Captain America and Rhodey flying backwards. When the smoke clears, Henry Gyrick stands in the opening, flanked by two Thor clones.
I trusted you, Jim.
Gyrick!
You're fraternizing with the enemy, and with so much at stake that cannot be tolerated.
Have at thee, villain!
Jim, look out!
Captain America pushes Rhodey out of the way, taking the blast himself.
No!
It's over, Jim.
You were with Gyrick on this? We were talking about a compromise. A way to resolve registration without any more bloodshed. Do you know what you've done? Do you know what you've done?
Unfortunately, yes. Forgive me, Jim.
And as Rhodes turns back to confront Gyrick, the shadowy figure he was speaking with pulls a pistol to the back of his head.
Sir, we got here as soon as we...
It was Captain America. He killed Rhodes and escaped before we could stop him.
As hard as it is to comprehend, Gyrick was not evil. He was just like you, a futurist. He knew what it took to make the hard decisions. He had a vision and the willpower to save the country from itself. the country he loves. With the lie that Cap is still at large, he solidifies his platform as a champion of the people.
Gyrick stands in front of a crowd of people, many of them holding signs endorsing him for president.
I promise you that together we will bring Rogers and the rest of his evildoers to justice, and for Jim Rhodes' death, and keep America safe.
And uses it to ascend to the highest office in the free world.
Later, in the Oval Office of the White House, Gyrick speaks with Maria Hill.
I appreciate the information you supplied. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye.
I couldn't let it continue, Mr. President, but now the country can move forward in peace, and only because you were able to make the hard decisions.
I know, Hill. It doesn't mean I have to like it, especially the way you dispatched Rhodes. Still, whatever he may have done, Jim was right. So was Cap. It didn't have to go this far.
Maybe next time we can afford to listen.
We return to the graveyard with Tony Stark and the stranger.
So then, I did the right thing. The wind was turning against us. The only choice was to get in front of it to control it, or to let it crush us. One of us had to be on the inside, running the show. Why couldn't Steve see that?
Perhaps because, for all his virtues, Steve Rogers was never a pragmatist. He was not one to be comfortable with the lesser of two evils.
But it isn't evil. It's a burden. He should have known that.
And perhaps, in another reality, Tony Stark, he would.
We turn to a different reality. At Giffen-Meyer Chemicals, the scene of the pro-registration heroes led by Iron Man facing the resistance led by Captain America.
What is this? I don't need to see this, stranger. I remember it as vividly as if it happened today. The public doesn't want masks and secret identities. They want to feel safe when we're around. And there's no other way to win back their respect. This is where it passed the point of no return. I reached out to Cap. I tried to end the war. You've known me half my adult life, Cap. You know I wouldn't do this unless I believed in it with all my heart. We don't want to fight you. Just give me the chance to tell you our plans for my 21st century overhaul. And he didn't trust me enough to listen. When he reached out his hand to mine, there was a weapon hidden in it.
So there was, but in this divergent reality, you did something you did not do in your own world. You were honest.
Steve, thank you for doing this. Like I said, I believe in what I'm doing, but I want to be sure I'm doing it the right way. I need someone I trust to make sure I am. I need your help, Cap.
That simple admission changed the course of history.
Cap's hand drops to his side. The electron scrambler meant to disable Iron Man's suit still glows, unused.
Let's talk.
In the helicarrier, S.H.I.E.L.D. watches as the two heroes converse.
Oh, no. Director Hill, Cap's carrying a concealed weapon. Sensors show it could shut down Iron Man's armor. I'm releasing codename Lightning.
The cloned Thor stands at an open door, lightning forming around his hammer.
Negative. Agent Franks, I'll alert Stark of the danger, but for now, codename Lightning is to stay inert. Confirm.
We may have a slight problem there, ma'am.
A bolt of lightning strikes among the assembled heroes, sending many of them flying.
Kneel, ye wretches! Kneel and surrender! Yes, ye face the wrath of the god of thunder!
What the? Thor?
Oh, hell. That's not Thor. It's a clone. And it looks like he's out of control. Read.
On it. Shutdown code Richard Wagner 18.
Silence, mortal! If ye stand in the way of my noble mission, thou art branded traitor.
Goliath faces Thor, towering over the clone god of thunder. Get ready for the shortest comeback in history, Thor.
I think not.
Oh no. Stranger, I don't want to see this. I don't. No!
Iron Man flies into the path of Thor's lightning, shielding Goliath from the lethal blast.
This is not your world, Anthony Stark. Here, you were not caught up in the heat of battle when your creation sought to slay Goliath. Here, you saw what was about to happen and acted.
I see where this is going now. Only Reed and I knew the code to shut him down. Reed's unconscious. With my armor system scrambled by the blast, my microphone isn't working.
Thor lifts his hammer, summoning lightning as he prepares to strike the fallen Iron Man.
I always said I'd trade places with Goliath if I could. Glad to see I meant it. This is a good way to die, stranger.
Do not be so hasty, Anthony Stark.
A red, white, and blue shield stops the hammer in its tracks.
Here, you are not without friends.
You want him? You'll have to go through me.
Captain America bought the time you needed for your armor to repair itself. And though you began the day as enemies, you forgot your differences, instead remembering the countless times you had battled side by side against overwhelming odds.
Iron Man and Captain America battle the cloned Thor, breaking the imposter's hammer.
And you did so once again. The others followed your example, uniting to face the common threat.
The other heroes join in the fight against Thor, restraining him.
To defeat the soulless creature that wore the form of Thor, and together you succeeded. But one battle would not resolve the issues that had set friend against friend. One battle could not end the war. Only its leaders could do that.
At Stark Tower, Iron Man and Captain America speak in a boardroom.
So, now what? I'm glad we're talking, Steve. But I haven't changed my mind about this. Superhumans are too dangerous to run around unsupervised. They need to be properly trained. They need to be held responsible for their actions.
And I still refuse to give up the freedoms our founding fathers fought for just because it's politically expedient. You're talking about giving the government control over every superhuman in the nation. I say no government can be trusted with that kind of power.
But you can.
I'm sorry.
Steve, you stood with me when we confronted the Young Avengers and told them they'd either have to quit or submit to training in the use of their powers. You don't disagree with the philosophy behind the Registration Act. You disagree with the government being the one to administer it. So you do it.
I don't think I'm any more qualified than...
Oh, please, Cap. You're pretty much the only person in the world everyone would trust with their real names. Let's take the government out of this. Make the Avengers responsible for policing our own. We'll consult with the government, work with them the way we always have. We'll train young heroes in the use of their talents and make sure active heroes use their powers responsibly. But at the end of the day, superhumans' identities would remain secret, known only to you. Steve, it's the only way I can think of to end this without blood.
I don't know. That much responsibility in the hands of one man? What if I'm killed? Or compromised somehow? Impersonated or mind controlled?
I'd install the most sophisticated security measures to prevent that. We could also have trusted telepaths perform regular checks. As for your death, handpick your successors. Sharon Carter, the Falcon, whoever you trust the most. I'll back you up.
Tony, I just don't know.
Cap, it's not enough to be against something. You have to be for something better.
You really think you can sell this to the government?
Cap, I won't have to.
At a press conference, a crowd of reporters push and jostle each other in anticipation of an announcement from the Avengers.
Who do you think's unmasking this time? Daredevil?
Come on, everyone already knows who he is. I'll tell you though, as fast as Stark made us rush over here, it better be someone good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming at such short notice. I've asked you here to announce a major development in the conflict over the Superhuman Registration Act. It's over. We've reached an agreement. The act will be administered by the Avengers, under the leadership of the one man we all trust to perform his duties with honor and sound judgment, Captain America.
The reaction to this announcement on the helicarrier and at the White House is less than enthusiastic.
What?
Stark didn't clear this with any of us. What do they think they're trying to pull, Director Hill?
Well, Mr. President, like it or not, they just took their idea for settling this thing directly to the American people and the world.
After the announcement, Captain America and Iron Man are invited to speak with the president at the White House.
No disrespect was intended, Mr. President. But let's be honest, you never would have signed off on this if we come to you.
You're darn right I wouldn't. Director Hill and I have serious concerns about your plan.
Frankly, sir, and I include Iron Man and myself in this, no one's completely happy about it, which is probably the best indication we have that it's good.
There are the latest poll numbers. An overwhelming majority of Americans support this arrangement. With all due respect, sir, what matters isn't whether you like it, but whether you can live with it.
Times like this, I see what Churchill meant when he said democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others. Don't mess this up, gentlemen.
And you did not. Under your shared leadership, the Avengers became an unparalleled force for good.
The Avengers assemble and go forth, fighting evil and saving the innocent.
One no foe could stand against, one which quickly won the respect and admiration of those it strove to protect. The champions of Earth stood together, united, under the banner of the Avengers. Young superhumans were trained by their elders, taught both tactics and responsibility, serving only by choice, their identities protected. And when discipline became necessary, it was meted out by their brethren, both swiftly and justly. So began a new golden age of heroes, in some ways far different than what had come before, in others much the same.
Iron Man walks into a command room where Captain America is working at a computer.
Steve, you're still here. It's late.
Just entering the data from today's meeting.
Sorry I missed it. Got tied up in Washington. How'd it go?
Routine. Hank thinks the Space Phantoms are up to something.
Don't get me started on the Space Phantoms. I hate those guys.
Jarvis, the Avengers butler, enters with a tray of tea. I thought I heard your voice, Mr. Stark. Tea, gentlemen?
Thanks, Jarvis. You're a lifesaver. Cap?
Tony smiles at Cap.
I'm glad we worked things out.
And Cap returns a smile.
So am I.
In a rush, we are returned to the graveyard, where Tony leans on a tombstone.
My God.
Yes, I've always found it both beautiful and terrible, how one decision, one small difference, can change so much. I suppose nothing is truly insignificant. The laws of cause and effect, every action with its cascading ripples through the world.
Why? Why have you come here? Just to torture me?
I'm here to mark a great passage and to pay tribute. You see, I can do what you dream of, Tony Stark. I can see all possible futures. I know why you try so hard, why you look at the world from so many angles. And yet you do have something that I don't. You can cause ripples.
You can't control a ripple.
No, and that's what life is, Tony Stark. Cherish it. Because some of us only wait and watch.
The stranger walks away, leaving Tony with nothing but his thoughts and the rain. This concludes the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast Community Theater presentation of What If? Civil War.
All right, Bob, that was super fun. I can't wait for you to experience this.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a great story. It's a great story. Yeah, and you got some great folks, new folks, but also returning folks participating. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. And we kind of joked afterwards. So if we do this every 50 episodes, it will no longer be recorded in the summer. It's going to, like, by episode 1,000, we're going to be like recording this in January or something.
Right, yeah.
So we'll see if we make it that far. But
it might be easier to get people in January than during the summer travel months. So who knows?
Okay. Yeah. We'll keep it in mind. Or maybe we'll just record it way in advance and then just save it for a special number or something.
Well, that's an idea.
Speaking of upcoming episodes, come back next week when we do episode 301. And we are going to be, if you've been enjoying Jack Kirby's Mad Bomb and sad to see that it ended last episode with episode 299, fear not, we are coming back next week with a one-shot from 2020 called Marvel's Snapshot, which basically takes place during Mad Bomb. And it's a real fun story that Bob reminded us about. And so come back next week for that.
Yeah, it is an often forgotten little addendum to the Mad Bomb story arc, but definitely worth reading. And I'm glad we're going to tackle that.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, Bob, any final comments before we end this episode?
No, I wish I could be the one that says end scene. But I wasn't there. So, but I can't.
You can do it now. You can do it now.
I could do it now, but I hate to say goodbye. I just feel like I just got here. But I'm looking forward to listening to this. And just again, congratulations to everybody who participated in this year's community theater. Well done, everybody.
All right. Well, for Bob Lucius, I'm Rick Verbanis, and we thank you for listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.
End scene.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 50% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.